Welcome to CRABFEAST 2022. This is the 2024 graduating class championship game. Mark Dixon, happy to be joined by Matt Shandick of the National Lacrosse Federation. Matt, huge summer for these players. Wolfpack from Long Island against FCA from the Baltimore area. Long Island Wolfpack beat Crabs in overtime to get to this championship game. FCA, meanwhile, outlasted True in their semifinal contest. And wow, what a treat to be here. And what an opportunity for these young men to play, not only at a high-level championship game, but in front of a lot of college coaches.
Tons of college coaches. First of all, great to be back in the saddle with you. And you know, we've done a couple of these things before, and it's always great competition. This is going to be no exception. Like you said, down to the wire in both the semifinal games. Tells you how tough a tournament CRABFEAST is. So just making it to the championship game is impressive. And I've seen, you know, college coaches from every major school here, so you know it's one of the best recruiting events in the country. So a little bit of everything, and this game should be fantastic and down to the wire.
The hero for FCA in their overtime win over True in the semifinals was number 3, a midfielder from Loyola Blakefield, Dallas Matthew. And then for Long Island Wolfpack, you had an opportunity to see that game winner, Aquino, number 21, Hunter Aquino, with that game winner in that game. And 91 Wolfpack.
He actually set up the game winner.
Okay.
Really nice invert. Found Lucas LaForge from Mount Sinai on an off-ball cut who just had, you know, turn and dunk, which is always a nice thing to finish off with. So they've got some chemistry going, and you know, excited to see how they kind of do. Aquino's been really good all weekend, and LaForge has really picked up his game today.
Aquino steps onto the field as part of this first midfield unit for Long Island Wolfpack. Ball is in the stick now of Amity dodging down the alley. Ball's mishandled behind the cage. Ben Morris, number 4, is able to corral it. Gets it back up into the wing. This is Aquino. Looking to dodge from up top. Rolls back to his right hand, looks up, forced down the alley. Aquino, right off the bat, what you notice about him is his length, his height. Shot on goal, saved.
Yeah,
by FCA.
Aquino's really interesting because he's so big and he can shoot with either hand. He does a little bit of everything, and he's really kind of come into his own in the past year with his body. I mean, it's not easy when you're, you know, kind of so big so early, but he had a great year for Academy of the New Church outside of Philly, and he's kind of parlayed that into a strong summer. What
is that Academy of the New Church? That's the biggest question. One of the biggest questions I got this weekend is they were in the 2023 division. They acquitted themselves quite nicely, and never heard of them prior to this event.
Yeah, it's a small private school that has some boarding kind of, you know, in the Abington-ish kind of area. So they've been able to pull a little bit. Rob Forster, who's the coach of LaSalle now, kind of really turned them into a bit of a Philly powerhouse a couple years ago. Really did a great job of bringing some outstanding players in, and they've done well at the collegiate level as well. And his brother, Rob went to LaSalle, and then now his brother Jack actually coaches there, and he's done a good job too. So they don't usually have very big rosters, but they've got some talent.
Save on the first Long Island Wolfpack possession by Willem Onmack out of Boys Latin School in Baltimore. And then on FCA's first offensive possession, they turn it over at Long Island Wolfpack back on the attack. Dodge from the wing, rear back shot and a goal. Our first of the afternoon. It looks to be number 4, I believe.
Yeah, it's Ben Morris. He's had about conservatively 25 goals this weekend. I think I've seen every Wolfpack game, and he's been unbelievable. Great chemistry with number 12, Luke Breslin. I mean, you know, Morris made that one happen on his own, but he's just a deadly shooter. He'll make you pay. He doesn't need much to get his shot off, and he's impressed a lot of college coaches with his toughness too. He'll get to the middle. He's not afraid. So he's kind of a versatile goal scorer.
So Morris gets Long Island Wolfpack on the board. Format of this game, 4 12-minute running quarters. Teams get 1 timeout, a half, I believe. And if the score is tied at the end of regulation, you just keep playing. You keep rolling into the you keep playing, you roll into the overtime, and first goal wins. That's how Long Island Wolfpack advanced to this championship game with their win over Crabs. And then, of course, FCA beating True in their semifinal matchup. First midfield unit back on the field. I believe that's a number. Is that a 19 or a 14? If it is a 19, I don't have a 19 on the Long Island Wolfpack roster.
I believe that's Flaherty.
Pat Flaherty out of Chaminade, wearing number 19. Feed in the middle shot, that's Morris again. Nice feed from behind the cage. Looks like it was from Luke Breslin. So you just mentioned that connection a minute ago, Matt. Breslin to Morris, and they get Long Island Wolfpack up by a pair.
They've been fantastic all weekend long. Their chemistry is evident. They've been playing together since they were 6 years old. So I think it's safe to say that they know what the other one's doing. Breslin's kind of more that quarterback type. You know, he's very calm and poised back there, and Morris does such a great job off ball. It's a perfect connection for the two of them.
So you've been following this 2024 class really since January, the NLF Futures event down in Florida.
Well, before that, I would say, we've had it at 1%, a couple of the other events. I feel pretty confident in a lot of, what I've seen with the 24 class, but it's always great when you get an event like CRABFEAST where everyone's so good and you really get to see who's going to kind of shine brightest against the, on the bigger stage against the best competition.
So how would you best characterize this 24 class? If you had to characterize it into 1 or 2, 3 things, what defines the 24 class?
I think it's incredibly deep. I think it's really, really good. I mean, in terms of the top 5 players or so, it's hard to beat the 23 class. But I would say that the 24 class is probably a little bit deeper across the board. There's just, it's probably a stronger defensive class than the 23 class was. And I think there's going to be a lot of happy college coaches when it comes to the goalies. I think there's, 25 goalies. You can make a case as top 5, top 7 goalie in the class. So there's going to be a lot of schools that are thrilled with who they land. There's going to be some guys that everybody wants more than others, but I think the difference is negligible.
So another clearing attempt. Good run out by Braden McCaskey, but the ride from Long Island Wolfpack creates the turnover. Possession back over to Long Island. Good defense by FCA's number 15, listed as number 15, Brady Smith, but I'm not sure that's correct number.
Josh Hallam.
Josh Hallam. I'm looking at the wrong roster. Good catch. We're working out the kinks here.
Hallam's good. He showed good footwork there. He makes a lot of plays kind of in the middle of the field, like your typical LSM. And there's Ben Morris again. I mean, kid's doing all right. That's 3.
Good footwork from X. Little jitterbug to left, and defender got stuck, hung up in the back of the cage, loses his leverage, and Morris comes around top side to stick it. 3-0 Long Island Wolfpack.
3-0 Ben Morris. And there you kind of see a little bit of what makes Morris kind of special. He's not just an off-ball guy, although he's very good at it. He kind of created that one on his own, just took his guy to the rack, and he's a terrific shooter and, places his shots well. There are probably guys who shoot it harder on a consistent basis, but he's very accurate with them, and he still shoots hard enough.
Hold on the face-off gives FCA a much-needed possession. They've only had the ball once. Finn Smith out of Loyola Blakefield with the re-trigger. Referees Chris Frelicardi, Joe Cieslak Jr., and Matt Radaball. 25 for FCA. Grant Miller, Manchester Valley High School.
One matchup I'm really interested in watching here is, looks like we got in the middle of the field, is you got Cody Collier, the attackman from Calvert Hall, against Dante Verdero, a 5-star defenseman from St. Anthony. Stop me if you've heard that one before. A good one from Calvert Hall and St. Anthony's.
Yeah, right. 2 programs that have produced tons of talent, and their current rosters are no exception. Another Calvert Hall Cardinal working from up top. This is Drew Burks. Gets the shot off. Danny Aiello providing the defense for Long Island Wolfpack. Ball up the wing. Number 20 for FCA is Luke McNamara. FCA switches fields, dodge to the middle of the field now, head up. Looks like number 25, Grant Miller. Tough to fall down 3-0 in these games, but if you can get a goal here for FCA, you got to feel better about yourself. Miller, quick feed.
That's not going to help.
Had a man open. That was Sisto Averno, teammate at Calvert Hall. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession over to 91 Wolfpack, and there is Dante Vardaro, player that you spoke about, 5-star.
Awesome. He's really good. He's going to be a big part of St. Anthony's future. St. Anthony's was so loaded that Dante actually played JV this year, but usually if you're playing JV at St. Anne's, it portends good things because they're so deep, and you got to kind of wait your turn a little bit, as they do at a lot of powerhouses. But his future is incredibly bright.
Who won the St. Anthony's Chaminade Battle Royale this year? How many times they play?
They played 3 times. St. Anthony's won them all.
Gotcha.
Blew them out in the first game, and then second one was a 1-goal game, and the third one went to overtime. And Jackson Green from Team 91, a Harvard commit, scored the game winner. So he'll live in St. Anthony's fame forever.
History.
Yep. Yeah. So he's, he was actually a little hobbled too. Came off the bench. There's a little Willis Reed moment. So
inspirational.
Inspirational indeed. Yeah. It's crazy that you watch that game, and you see it down here in the MIAA too. Like there's so much talent. It's unbelievable.
It's like watching a college game.
It really is. The ball's snapping it around, and they actually don't play with a shot clock on the island, but they didn't need one in that game. I'll tell you that much.
That's good. That's good.
They're just constantly getting up and down the field.
Long Island Wolfpack working their offense now with no shot clock, being patient. With this tournament, I've seen a couple of extended possessions, but a great slap check right there. Dislodging the ball for Calvert Hall. It looks to be number 12, Griffin McNair. Now he's being hounded.
Good size lefty.
Good defense by Quinn Reynolds of Long Island Wolfpack, hounding that pole. That's great recognition by the pole. When you see a pole come across,
you gotta go.
Yeah, right? you gotta eat.
Interesting thing about Quinn Reynolds too, he was stuck behind an Army commit at LSM for Northport this year, so he played short stick midi. And he said it really kind of helps him a little bit too in terms of defending overall, because if you can defend with a short stick, you can probably do it with a pole, right? So
no question. FCA, Dallas Matthew working from the wing area. He had the game winner. Shot goes wide. FCA slowly but surely chipping away.
That's hard. They haven't really had an extended possession, right?
Yeah.
They lost the first 3 faceoffs of the game. Michael Moon's been awesome for 91 all weekend long.
Shot, nice save by the keeper for 91.
Brady Smith.
Brady Smith.
Big save there.
That was a good shot. That was good offense. Good low-to-low offering from about 12. Smith read it. I guess that's one thing, obviously, you probably see. I know I see it from the high school to the collegiate level, is not only making a save, but the rebounds, not giving up rebound protection.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? You should be able to gobble up a 12-yarder on most occasions, but if you're giving up a 3-yard inside rebound, you're kind of in trouble a little bit.
Looks like that'll be the end of the first quarter, so the first 12 minutes are in the books. 91 Wolfpack leading FCA 3-0.
On 3 Ben Morris goals.
3 Ben Morris tallies.
Bayport Blue Point sniper. He's had a great weekend and off to a great start in this championship game.
So you roll with the NLF. You run the 1% showcase.
I do. Yep.
What will you do from all of the data you collect, all the things that you see? What will you do with that information?
Put it all together, and then try to cross-reference it with college coaches, club coaches, high school coaches, anybody who's seen these guys play at a high level. And then, try to formulate some rankings and some good content ideas, find out about people's interesting stories. I'm a storyteller kind of at heart, so that's my biggest thing. The rankings are cool, don't get me wrong, but, we try to do a little bit of everything. And a lot of it can, seem kind of repetitive, and how do you really differentiate between number 40 and number 90 or whatever and stuff like that. But, you get to see a lot of these guys at great events like CRABFEAST, the NLF Championships, Long Island Lacrosse, another one, good one. So try to get a little bit of everything, try to see some different pockets of the country. And another good thing about CRABFEAST has been get to see teams from California and Illinois and Georgia, all over the place, North Carolina, and we have Team 91 Carolina and Team 91 Charlotte. It's part of the guys coming up from here. So it's good when you're able to kind of see guys from outside of the traditional pockets. Me being a Philly guy, I get to see pretty good amount of the Philly guys, and Long Island as well. But there's more than just Philly and Long Island, right?
No doubt.
So,
yeah.
Came down for picked down a Culver game earlier this year too, trying to see a little bit of as much as anybody. And what's been great in the high school season has been the advent of live streams. So
yeah, this is great for all the folks who can't be here in person to get a glimpse, and great for college coaches as well. I think we're out of the. I don't know. I don't want to jinx this, but I think we're out of the COVID situation. It's great to see coaches being able to travel, families gathering under tents, and
yeah, it's nice. I mean,
it really is.
Obviously, nobody enjoyed COVID.
No.
It was a huge drain on a lot of people for such a long time, and now the coaches are happy to be back on the road. I mean, after a while, it gets to be a little exhausting for them, I'm sure. But
right.
you know, at the end of the day, the alternative is sitting in your office and watching film all day. So I think they'll take the live evals over that. Although I think you have to have a little bit of both, right? Because you can't get to everybody. So
no.
And you don't want to miss out on any studs just because you don't want to watch film. So
Macklin Kaiser on the field now for Long Island Wolfpack. And really, you know, in essence, the 22 class was recruited primarily based off of film, right?
I would say almost exclusively based off of film.
Yeah.
You know, except for some of the later commits, but like some of the guys, and I think I'm really interested to see kind of how that plays out at the, you know, how many guys got missed because whatever, they couldn't get to X event or whatever. Or, you know, maybe some guys' contributions don't show up best just on film. Maybe they're just making a ton of little plays that sometimes slip through the cracks.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. That was definitely a tough class. I mean, we've done 3 sets of rankings for the class of 22. We're going to do a 4th at the end of the summer. Just, you know, with the National Senior All-Star Game, which I believe you're a part of as well, right?
Yeah.
You'll be broadcasting.
Yep, I'll be there.
So we're really interested in seeing that and seeing, you know, going back, kind of talking to some guys about the kids' senior years. But we'll have a 4 set of rankings, which I think is pretty comprehensive. And guess what? They're not going to be perfect. As much as I'd like them to be, they're never going to be perfect. But, you know, I think to your earlier point, when you have a ton of data points, it really helps. At least if you don't like the ranking, you can see why we chose to do that.
Right. Good defense by FCA short stick D midi. Finn Smith operating against, it looks like it's Flaherty. Pat Flaherty.
That is Flaherty, yep.
Flaherty has dodged from the wing. He's dodged from up top. Now he goes inverts. Smith does a nice job.
That's going to stay in.
Great hustle on the ground ball. It's one thing you see, that the little plays like that, saving a possession for your team. This creates a goal scoring opportunity. Just goes wide. Possession stays with Long Island. We're going to have a late hit.
Gets the man up.
Yeah, we're going to have a late hit.
That was definitely a big hit on Macklin.
Officials get it. Good to see number 27, Kaiser, get up after taking that late hit. It'll be an extra man opportunity. So really, much like the first quarter, Matt, Long Island Wolfpack just dominating possession. I don't think FCA has had it across the midfield line in an offensive set since the second quarter face-off.
They've kind of struggled. I mean, Michael Moon's been dialed in, like I said, as he has been all weekend. And I know Coach Aiello made it a point, you know, early on yesterday, hey, let's roll the middies, because they know it's going to be a long tournament. It's a great save by Omak.
Good save by Omak. Read it.
But they made it a point to roll their middies throughout the tournament, and I think you're kind of seeing a payoff right now.
Got to have depth, especially on day 2 when you get into these playoff games.
Well, and it's more than day 2 for a lot of these guys, right? They've done
they've been at different events, yeah.
Elite 120, the NLF Elite 120, Maverick.
It's a brutal stretch leading up to
the dead period.
What you kind of figure is the midpoint, you know, the 4th of July. You could have guys rolling in, and that's, man, I don't know about you, but you know, I've been through the process twice with my kids, and I've watched their friends. But when I see kids putting their spring highlight video with a shot and a goal, wow, that'll go in a highlight video. That's number 22 for FCA, Finn Mitchell, with a great catch and release.
That had a vapor trail on it.
That was beautiful.
Good offense too. Get down the alley, pull the defense over, throw it back to the middle.
And I didn't catch the assist on that, but that was a great look inside. I'm telling you, what I was going to say before is when you look at these kids' spring highlight videos, and at the end they put the 63 with the assist for FCA. 3, Dallas Matthew.
You were saying about the spring highlights?
Spring highlights, and at the end, kids will put their summer schedule up, and I'll see kids with 10 to 12 events on there. And it's just like, whoa. What would you know, watching recruits and things of that nature, what advice would you give to players and parents that want to play at the next level and are in this summer? Great tic-tac-toe passing.
Breslin finishes off from LaForge.
That's just great.
I've seen them do
movement.
that about 12 times this weekend. They're so good in transition. They're deadly. You can't leave the Wolfpack out in transition. To answer your question though, you know, and I say this as a guy who runs an event, but you don't have to do every single event. It's hard, and you know you're gonna have your high school coach telling you have to do high school events, and your club coaches obviously want you to do your club events, and it's good to do some showcases and stuff, but you got to find a way to stay fresh. And we find that a lot of kids will like sign up for everything, and then it's a placeholder, and then they're like, I can't really do this anymore. It's like, you don't have to do everything. I know that there's, you know, a lot of us do. We do a lot of, you know, good stuff with like marketing and make it look good, obviously, and it is good. Like there's a ton of great events out there, a ton of great individual events, but you don't have to do every single one.
Right. Be selective.
Yeah, and one of the things. Yeah,
Listen to your body.
Yeah, and I'm obviously partial to my event, but one of the things I think that sets us apart a little bit is it's a one-day event. So you get in, you play your games, and, you know, you don't have to do 2-3 days where it's gonna take up a lot of your schedule.
Right. FCA with a successful clear. Nice ball movement, and the one more. That's just something that you love to see. That one more.
Yep.
The unselfish nature of
probably
players.
Could have finished that off. He's a good enough finisher inside, but he saw on the backside. He had Breslin wide open for a tap in. I mean, that's great. That's great lacrosse. That's what they teach you pretty early on, right? Just find the open guy.
They try. Ronan Butler on the field now for
Or if you can
FCA.
shoot like your son Owen, just let it fly.
Yeah,
you know?
he's a shoot first guy.
Shoot first, second, third, ask questions later. But it's worked out for him, you know. He's found himself a nice role, committed to Carolina.
Yeah.
Pretty good program there.
It's been exciting. Had a good spring season.
Yeah.
Nice look over the top by Mitchell. This is Collier. Shot. Goes wide.
I like Collier's shiftiness. He's really slippery and, you know, can kind of attack from different spots on the field. I think he would prefer to be an X guy, but he can also get moved around a little bit. And it's never a bad thing to have that versatility, be a chess piece for your coaches. I'm sure with the graduation of Truett Sunderland, I would expect him to have a bigger role at Calvert Hall next year.
Well, we've seen it at the college game. It's a little bit more defined in high school, but the college game offensively, it's positionless.
Yeah.
It's the 6 guys that can create opportunities, and it doesn't matter if you're a midi or an attackman, you are pretty much a chess piece on the board. Nice feed inside, shot and a goal.
LaForge on the goal and Breslin on the assist. You're seeing that chemistry. LaForge has had a really good day today. He started off, he got banged up a little bit yesterday. I think missed 1 or 2 of the games, but you know, he's finding his groove, and was Joey Spallina's favorite target in the spring at Mount Sinai. I want to say Lucas has about 110 career high school goals, and he's already played only 2 seasons.
Wow.
So good to be Joey's favorite target, but you know, he's done a great job, and you know, it sounds easy, but it's not easy when you get into the crease and you got guys whacking away at you and trying to make your life miserable. So he's a big body who's got some really good hands.
5-1. Really, it's the 91 Wolfpack attack with those 5 goals. Breslin, LaFord.
Nope, just pulled up in there, number 1.
That could be a hammy or a shoe. I know Owen blew his shoe out early. Blew both his shoes out early.
Both of them. I mean, at least now you got to buy a whole pair. Just
yeah,
you
know,
one,
exactly. You know? Just money I'd love to spend. FCA with the turnover, and Wolfpack has just been very sound defensively. And when you look at this LI Wolfpack defense, right away, you notice their size and athleticism.
They're monsters. Their starting defense, I mean, their whole defense, but really their defense is as good as anybody in the country. You have Ben Fox, number 30, started at Chaminade this year and was their best defensive player. Chaminade's a pretty good program last I checked. You know, to start as a sophomore is unheard of there almost, and then to be the best defensive guy is incredible. We already touched on Vardaro. Vinny Bolognino had a great year at Harbor Fields playing LSM. Just a ground ball machine, but he can move kind of back and forth between defense and close defense and LSM. A guy like Mikey Luce is a guy that shot up maybe 4 or 5 inches in the past year, and he's 6'3" now. And he's done a great job of, you know, kind of being the quiet guy on the back end.
Still waiting for my growth spurt. Shot goes over the cage. And if you look at a team like FCA, these are a lot of guys, you know, it's a predominant team of Loyola Blakefield and Calvert Hall. And those are teams that had a lot of veterans, particularly on the defensive end of the field. So these kids are probably going to get their opportunity next year in the 2023 spring season. But it's great to be out here in the summer, because if you don't have a lot of tape from the spring, this is the time.
You got to get those reps. You know, not everyone's fortunate enough that they can start in high school, whether it's at these stacked programs that we've talked about, right, or just things, you know, whatever don't work out. So if you've got good film, you know, if you're playing some high-level competition, that's going to help you, obviously, in the grand scheme of things. Not just get recruited, but obviously just become better as a player and you know, work your way up that depth chart. I mean, you look at Loyola, right? They lose 2 of the best defensive guys in the country, Dwan and Larkin. They'll bring back Pete Lake, who's not playing, who didn't play today because he's a little banged up, but
Thomas Lala's back.
Yeah, then you have some guy, you know, there's some spots for those 24s to start filling.
Absolutely.
You see it all over the country, but really, you know, it's really kind of more pronounced at those powerhouse.
For sure. Looks like a timeout taken by the Wolfpack as they try to tack on their 6th goal. No scoreboard here, no clock. But I'd have to say, based on the, just based on gut, we probably got about 3 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
Long Island Wolfpack up 5-1 on FCA. These are the 2024s here at Crab Feast, which means these gentlemen graduate in 2024. So if you do the math, these are rising juniors, and September 1st begins their recruiting journeys.
Well, July 1st actually for a lot
July
of them.
1st,
We'll
right?
get a lot of calls from the academies.
Army, Navy, Air Force.
Yep.
Very active beginning on July 1st. And how about the service academies? How would you best characterize their recruiting over the last couple of years?
Excellent. Really, really impressive. You know, they have to recruit a little bit differently. Everyone thinks it's an advantage they can start July 1, and in some ways it is, but you know, some guys don't want to make a decision until they hear from other schools on September 1. So you know, the armed forces are kind of on pins and needles for a little bit, and you know, they probably have to recruit more players just because guys fall out of love with the military aspect of it, or you know, things just happen. So their classes will be a little bit bigger at some points, but I think it's hard. I really commend, you know, Army, Navy, and Air Force for how they do it, because it can't be easy. You know, it's like, hey, the good thing is they can offer as many scholarships as they want.
That's true.
The downside is you still got to serve in the military, which is not for everybody. And obviously very grateful to all those who do decide to serve, because I think it's such a selfless thing, and I wouldn't be able to do it. So, but you know, it does make life a little bit tougher in terms of recruiting.
Yeah. But I tell you what, they have been able to get some really top-notch players.
The 23 classes at those schools are outstanding.
Outstanding play by Lang Gasper at the midfield line. Matthew gets inside, shot.
Great save.
Looks like it was fought off.
Brady Smith had a good day today.
Penalty flag flies. Delayed whistle coming up. Looks like FCA is going to get their first extra man opportunity of the contest.
Crazy thing about Brady Smith, he actually played midfield this year for Bayport Blue Point.
Wow.
2 Division I goalies ahead of him, 2 older guys, so they were, I think, splitting some time or something like that. And Brady, whose brother Jameson is an excellent attack mid who's going to Hopkins this year, just graduated. Played some midfield, scored a couple goals, which is pretty unheard of for a goalie, you know, especially at that age.
Well, you know what? It sounds very similar to Brian Ruppel, the goalie from Catonsville High School. He freshman year at Catonsville, similar situation, had a goaltender going to York College in Pennsylvania, senior, and they moved to midfield, and he put up 20 points, 25 points.
That's pretty impressive.
Not bad. Looks like we are going to halftime here at the 2024 championship game of the Crab Feast tournament. Your score is Long Island Wolfpack 5, FCA 1. We'll step aside and be back in a couple minutes. FCA will begin the second half of action with a man-up opportunity. Back with the second half here. Shot goes wide. Windy day here in Bel Air, Maryland. Cedar Lane Park is the site of Crab Feast 2022.
We're rocking right here on the scaffolding.
Yeah, reminds me of the old setup at Fetzer Field at the University of North Carolina. Thankfully, with the Dorrance complex, we don't worry about scaffolding or anything.
Oh, there goes a stick.
Dallas Matthew now moves it up for FCA. Looks like that was a 1-minute penalty against Long Island Wolfpack. Golden opportunity for FCA to trim. Collier with the cut, nice check, good interior defense, good disciplined man-down defense.
Great job by Danny Aiello right there. Team 91 Wolfpack playing some really strong team defense. It's not just the defenders too, it's the short stick team middies have done a great job. We got Sal Caputo in the cage for another Chaminade guy.
A lot of Chaminade and St. Anne's. Cool with that. That's a cool thing about Club Lacrosse. I mean,
Good place to get guys from.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, rivals during the spring season, but we'll see it in the next game with the Crabs 2023s coming up. You know, kids from Loyola, kids from Boys Latin, McDonough, going after it in the regular season, but during the summer. And the other cool thing is, like, these kids all get along for the most part. It was after the quarterfinals, Crabs' opponent, the Thunder, guys were coming up to the Crabs tent. They were hanging out a little bit, talking.
That's great.
How'd you guys do? You don't like that, do you? You want guys going after each other all the time, don't you?
I'm more towards that, but once in a while it's not too bad.
I'm like that. I'm like that during the. Oh, nice shot! Nice shot.
He's been feasting, no pun intended, but he's been feasting on a lot of short sticks on the invert. Did a great job there. I was saying he set up the game winner to LaForge against the Crabs. Now in this one he goes to his left and gets to his. We talked about it earlier. He's 6'5", he's close to 200 pounds, and he can move. So when you get that combination, he's a tough cover. He's been outstanding all week. He also plays some attacks sometimes, but I don't think they've needed him to. But he's been a matchup nightmare for a lot of guys. I mean, would you like to try and cover him or no?
I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
But man,
he might have you by a couple inches.
These days, I loved. So as a midfielder, I loved getting matched up on attackmen. I mean, I know that's the dream and the switch and the two-man game.
Yeah.
The big little, but I loved playing attackmen. At this stage, though, Matt, I'm worried about my hamstrings for everything. Backpedaling, going forward, side to side, whatever.
You don't want to hear anything pop while you're moving.
No.
So that'd be bad.
And plus, he would dust me. There's no question he would dust me. But if he tried to back me in, I might have a shot. Matthew, down the alley, shot just wide.
He's also a good football player, so he's got a little bit of that physicality to him, which is nice. I mean, how'd you like that as a red zone target right there? Just throw it up. Let Hunter get after it a little bit.
Well, Gronk just retired, so.
That's it. It's a roll for him.
Long Island Wolfpack 6-1 lead over FCA Maryland. Of course, Long Island Wolfpack again, overtime winner against Crabs in the semifinals. FCA knocked off True in overtime as well. In this game so far, though, it's been all Long Island Wolfpack. Nice pickup, and look at the run out. These are what middies are paid to do when they get the ball in the defensive end. Run it out, clear it. Looks like that's number.
Yeah, Mikey Mondiello from Manhasset. Just a terrific, more of a D-mid type guy. Does a great job between the lines, as you just saw. Gets the ball up and out. That's a big play. To kind of.
Huge play.
FCA had a look or two, but to come away unscathed for Team 91 there is pretty impressive.
Well, especially we see it in the college game and in the MIAA, that with the Maryland Interscholastic League that uses shot clocks. And when you have to defend for those 80 seconds and then you get a stop and you can't clear it, that is not fun.
Especially because then usually you're not subbing anyway, so your middies are stuck.
Dodge down the alley. Good defense by number 12 for FCA. Griffin McNair.
I've liked his game today.
We've seen him make a couple nice plays.
He's a big boy, moves pretty well. I'm partial to lefties, I think a lot of people are.
Quick restart, whistle ready, shot and a goal.
That's Hannaford from Breslin.
So Ryan Hannaford, number 5.
Catch him sleeping a little bit.
Yeah, well, quick restart. It was a errant pass on the end line.
It's a great look, but you see some of the I think Breslin's got about 3 assists right now. He's just done a terrific job of getting other guys, involved and putting it. It's not just getting, as you're well aware, it's not just getting them the ball. It's putting it in the right spot for them.
Absolutely.
I think he did a great job on that one.
And with the size, speed, athleticism, throw whatever variable you want out there, but when you make passes, they've got to be right where the guy can catch and shoot. Like any split second, if you have to go low for it, if you have to stretch for it, that gives the defense an opportunity to shore up, and that's going to be a penalty on FCA. It's either going to be a push or a trip.
Looked like a trip to me, but I'm not a lacrosse official. I cede that to you.
A lot of times you
haven't been a hockey official in a couple years either.
Take the lesser of two evils, but let's see what we got. It's going to be a trip, so the Long Island Wolfpack will be man up for up to 1 minute.
Great sequence there from Quinn Reynolds out of Northport. You know, picks up the tough ground ball and then draws the flag. I think, you know, you need your LSM to come up with a big play there. And the other reason why I think FCA not only hasn't been able to get any offense going, but just kind of like breathe and play controlled is Michael Moon's done a terrific job at the face-off stripe.
Right.
He's been taking away, you know, any chance of like a comeback at this point. I mean, you know, knock on wood for the 91 Wolfpack, but a lot of movement
Feeding
there.
A great shot.
Great save.
Onmac staying tall in the cage. Good size. Boys Latin goaltender. Of course, you got the graduation of Carden Stoller from Boys Latin headed to Rutgers.
He had a terrific year.
He was unbelievable.
He's going to be joining us in the National Senior All-Star Game powered by Nike.
Yeah.
Really excited for him. He had a terrific year. BL had a bit of tough go in the semis. A lot of controversy about the clock, but
great game.
Great season for them.
Nice save. Onmac with a nice hugging of the pipe. Eats that shot. Rebound, though, again.
91's getting all the tough ground balls right now.
They're getting all the second opportunities for sure.
Yeah, extending those possessions and just gassing out the defense.
Shot from up top is wide. Finn Smith now runs down for FCA, so we are at even strength. This is always the toughest adjustment, though, when you go even strength. That first 10 seconds, the defense, make sure you have to
understand where everybody is.
Everybody's matched up. FCA does a nice job of matching up.
Got LaForge coming up from up top. It's not usually his wheelhouse, but he's got big body and get going downhill. He draws that early slide. Now it's going to open things up on the backside.
Mason Prout passed him off to his fellow long pole. Nice little shake and bake up top. Shot. Looks like it may have hit a pipe. Good hustle to the sideline. Who's going to win it? Great hustle by FCA.
That's a great play.
Yeah, that was great hustle. Great physical play, and you got to stay in bounds before that ball rolls out of bounds. That's exactly what the defender for FCA did. That's number 88, Wade Burke.
FCA's got some big boys on the back.
They do. I'm sorry, that's Lang Gaspar. So we got two 88s listed for FCA. Lang Gaspar, the long pole, and then 88 Wade Burke, a face-off man. So I'm going to assume that's Gaspar. He doesn't look like he's getting down in a crouch and pinching and popping anytime soon. Great hustle play. Much needed possession for FCA. Time is getting short here in the third period. Ronan Butler throws the ball over to Sisto Aveno. Number 21, Drew Burks, is the final part of the threesome that comes out. Burks has a step. Shot wide.
Good save by Caputo there.
Caputo stepped, exploded to it. Knocks it out of bounds. Possession stays with FCA. Collier.
Great play by Balanino. Moved his feet really well. That's how you have to defend a kid like Collier, who's so shifting. You got to be able to match his footwork. He did a good job, and then was able to get under him and kind of steer him out.
Low angle shot taken.
Well, 91 will take that shot any day of the week.
By Luke McNamara. Caputa.
Great ride.
Soaks it up.
Love the intensity.
Tough ground ball, got to bend down.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, physical play.
Who's gonna win it? There you go. There we saw Caputo picking it up.
Good hustle.
Tiptoeing on the end line. You think I could do that?
I'm not sure. I've never seen you in action.
I don't think we want to try unless we want to hear an earthquake rumbling through Maryland. So.
I don't know, man. I have to evaluate your athleticism, your quickness.
You don't want to evaluate any of that. There's no quickness. There's no evaluation of any athleticism.
It's like the hardest thing. I showed Owen a picture of me from back in college. I was over at my parents' house and dug up some old pictures of myself and old teammates, and both my kids were like, "Wow, you had hair." Yeah, I did.
Kids are ruthless, aren't they?
Oh, they're brutal. Nice two-man game behind the cage. Good feed up top. Shot. Here's another hustle to the sideline. Look at FCA.
Look at that hustle.
I mean, FCA down 7-1 at this point, but still playing incredibly spirited and hustling lacrosse.
By the way, looking across at the college coaches on the other sideline, seems like there's quite a bit of them still here for the championship game.
Sideline is full.
Yeah, it's a good look, and you know I want to say there were more. I thought I saw the check-in list of more than 200 guys, 200 college coaches this weekend. So
well,
CRABFEAST just stays you know, one of the best events in the country.
It brings them out for sure, and really we're just getting started when you think about it. You know, you got CRABFEAST, then you mentioned the National All-Star Games, powered by Nike. That'll be what, July 9th and 10th coming up?
Yes, sir.
Then the Mac Daddy, right? Is it the Mac Daddy, these NLF National Championships?
I mean, I'm biased, but I can't think of any other events that have had more than 300 college coaches the past 2 full events they've had. So, you know, last year was at UMass. This year we're at Lehigh, which is nice for me because it's an hour drive.
You and me both, man.
20 minutes from my parents, which is nice. So I'll be shacking up at the Shandick Hotel.
Chateau de Shandick.
That's it. And you know, but it's such a great event. I mean, and the great thing is too, there's, you know, we have both AA and A divisions, so there's you know, something for the high-end ACCs and Ivies and Big Tens, and you know, if you're looking to play at a smaller D3, there's a great shot.
And looks like number 44, Reed Passelwaite
From
Passelwaite,
distance.
Winters Mill High School, catches Long Island Wolfpack napping with short time and whistles one. Good, that was a good 18 yards. And it gets through the Wolfpack defense, nestles in the back of the net, and that's a little bit of momentum for FCA going into the 4th period. 7-2 is your score. The Long Island Wolfpack leading FCA right now. Long Island Wolfpack again out of Long Island, New York. FCA based out of Baltimore, Maryland. 2024 championship game. These young men hope that their phones will be ringing, pinging, slinging, everything on midnight, September 1st. I can tell you as a parent, it's fun, but it's also nerve-wracking. But you just hope all these kids have a good experience, and their parents, they put in so much time and effort over the years, putting their sons in this position to play for such good clubs at such great tournaments in front of college coaches. And the Long Island Wolfpack are 12 minutes away from a CRABFEAST championship at the 2024 division. FCA, of course, looking to disrupt those plans, and they will look to build on the momentum of that last-second Reed Passelwaite goal. Wind has not let up here this afternoon. I'm not complaining.
No, it's been
good breeze. I know you're a little nervous up here on this scissor
it's
lift.
my first time kind of on the scissor lift, so you know, at first it was a little apprehensive, but
you're all right. I remember at Rutgers, my freshman year, I was hurt, so I had to film the Rutgers game, and it was their football vantage point, which is about 50 feet up in the air.
Oh boy.
Straight climb.
Oh boy.
Nice win by Moon. Out the front door. Fast break opportunity for Long Island Wolfpack. Shot from distance. Eaten by the defense. That was number 7, Aiden Chairs, who stepped in front of that Long Island Wolfpack shot. Long outlet pass to Duncan Barnes. Barnes corrals it, and FCA, they're in business here to start the 4th quarter. Passelwaite back on the field. Matthew, game winner in the semifinal contest against True. Tough, aggressive defense at the top of the box by number 24, Brett Oppenheim. For Long Island Wolfpack, Finn Mitchell gives the ball up. Mitchell has the other goal for FCA. Matthew fakes the shot, runs out of angle.
Good defense. What did he drown him down?
Force him down the alley, take away angle.
Oh, good defense.
Passelwaite loses it. Another nice defensive play by Oppenheim.
Brett Oppenheim from Sinai. Older brother Austin played for the 91 Smash team. He's headed to Albany. Good face-off guy, had a really good year.
Oh. Give and go inside with the pole, and shot to score.
Quinn Reynolds. Great pass from Luke Breslin. I want to say it's his 4th assist of the game.
Pole goal here at Cedar Lane, CRABFEAST 2022. What a finish by Reynolds.
You don't usually see the 91 poles shoot that much. And I asked Joe Spalina about that one time when he was coaching with the Crush, pretty good team. And I was like, yeah, notice kind of, you know, your poles don't really shoot much. Why is that? Like, that's just your system? He goes, yeah, man, we've got Brendan O'Neill, Xavier Arline, Joey Spolina, and Andrew McAdory to pass to. Pass the ball, boys.
Sure.
Makes sense if you think about it, right?
It does.
91's always done a great job of producing. I mean, high-level guys for every position, but especially attackmen. I think that's where the, I guess, the most notoriety has come from.
Sure. But I tell you, nothing beats a pole goal to give you some juice.
No, I think they should be worth 2 if you ask me.
Give you a little emotion.
Should be a 2-bomb from no matter where it is on the field. Make it 3 in the PLL, I don't care.
Memo to Mr. Rabel.
Yeah, I'm sure he's taking down notes as to what I'm saying. So.
Did you go to the games last night, the PLL games?
No,
I watched them on television.
I drove home.
Yeah.
Got to hang out with the kids a little bit, so it was good.
Nothing beats that.
No, it's pretty great. Good defense, good swarming defense by FCA there.
So what do you got there, a 4-year-old and a 6-month-old?
4-year-old and 3-month-old.
3-month?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It's a handful.
You very well could take a nap.
My 4-year-old just started school, so it's been this past week. So that was a little bit of a lifesaver and a very busy week. So
school in the summer, can't beat that.
Well, we were signing her up for September. Like, yeah, it'll be the day after Labor Day. And they're like, but we have an opening for, like, essentially the same stuff for like a daycare for June 20th. I was like,
yes.
Yeah, you do. Let's go.
Sign
us up. Take my money. It's fine.
Right. FCA back on offense. Whatever momentum they had was squashed momentarily, but now they'll look to get it back. Burks comes in. Pass over to Miller. Pass up top now to 75, Butler. Nice little move to Cage. Good defense. You got to be impressed with the shorties as well for Long Island Wolfpack. Good footwork, aggressive. This is Finn Mitchell. Mitchell almost got topside.
Paulinino pops it out. Vardaro on the ground ball, and he's off to the races. That's just good defense. Look at him. He's pulling away.
Terrific ground ball work. Those first-time grounders critical in the defensive end. And to your point, Pole doesn't shoot. Get it to the attack. And there is the Long Island Wolfpack with another goal to make it 9-2.
Is that Hannaford on the backside? That was a great shot.
Hard to see those light numbers from our vantage point, but it looks like a number 5 or a number 7. It's 5.
Danny Aiello doesn't play attack.
Okay.
So Ryan Hannaford from Bayport Blue Point, great shot, but to your point, I don't even know why they're sliding to Vardaro. Like I just said, the 91 guys don't shoot, the poles don't shoot, but great ball movement, way to find it to the backside. Find one more. We kept talking about it, right? One more makes life a lot easier for everybody.
Sure. Great passing.
I want to say it was Beschel. I can't quite see the number, but I want to see it was Jared Beschel, another Manhasset guy who made the one more to Hannaford. So very unselfish play from 91. It's a team that's kind of tough to guard. I mean, obviously the individual talent's there, but they play so well as a team. And to the aforementioned thing, they've been playing together for a long time for the bulk of this team. Right. That, it's like, who do you go to stop? Because if you stop one guy, the other guy's going to burn you for. I mean, forget Ben Morris had a hat trick in the first half. He hasn't done, hasn't had to do a whole lot since.
Well,
there's a lot of options.
That's what 91 does. They do a great job of starting teams. They're 3rd, 4th graders.
Yeah, we start them early,
and they tend to stick together.
Yeah, they do. I mean, we're fortunate that we're at 91. We're one of the founding partners in the NLF. So obviously playing all those events, which is where you're going to get the best competition, and having our top teams play at events like, CRABFEAST helps our guys develop, and they're kind of forging the fire just because they're playing so many good teams all the time, and they train like madmen. It's a credit to our coaching staff, kind of led by Brian Spolina, who founded the club. I mean, these kids are in our facility 3-4 days a week in the off season, probably a little bit less than that during the summer, but they're always working, and they make noticeable gains as a result. Crazy, if you just work at something, you get better at it.
Low angle shot taken by number 8 for 91. That's Luca Petrocelli. Just ran out of angle. Possession still with the Wolfpack, up 9-2. Can't be a whole lot of time left here in this game, as we see the Crabs 23s and the Thunder 23s assembling on the far side, getting ready for
I've always been partial to the Crabs yellows. I like those.
They are pretty good, right?
Yeah, I like them.
Thunder sharp-looking uniforms too, but those yellows.
About those Crab yellows, you just identify yellow with the Crabs. And, kind of red with leading edge, and orange a lot with 91, even though they got the white ones on today, but the orange numbers.
Yep.
And FCA obviously always with the red. So.
Shot.
Ben Morris trying to go ready just to add to the level of difficulty.
Yep. This is number 5 for FCA, Mason Prout, legging it out. Nice individual effort. They've got numbers that they recognize. Good job getting to the hole for Long Island Wolfpack. So it looks like FCA will come up short in this game, but getting to the championship game of Crab Feast is a heck of an accomplishment.
That'll turn some heads on the recruiting trail.
Got to see the end of that game against True. It was really good back and forth, the overtime. Both teams had opportunities, both teams had possessions.
Saved by Caputo. He drops really well.
Good pickup on the end line, and here comes a long cross-field pass, picked off by FCA. Grant Miller gets it down low, shot, whistles wide. Backed up by FCA, they'll maintain possession. Looks like that was number 10, Preston Huffman for FCA. This is Collier trying to get something going here in the late stages of the ball game.
That might not be the guy to go after. Ben Fox has been pretty darn good throughout the summer and after a great spring like we were talking about earlier. But there's really not really many good options to go against this defense.
Yeah, right. So. Got to pick your poison and hope it works out. Good individual defense, again, shorty-wise, by 91 Wolfpack. Ball goes out of bounds. Petrocelli.
Got a Fox on the clear here. This wind is whistling right now.
It is.
Can't be more than a couple minutes left, I don't think.
No, it's definitely late in this contest. And we can see the Wolfpack now stretching the field, spreading it out. That gives you, and then our timekeeper is on the field right now, so it's got to be around less than a minute to go in this game. Long Island Wolfpack, very impressive against FCA Maryland. Championship game of Crab Feast 2022, shot inside and a goal.
Mikey Mondiello. Get a little twister action in there. A little cherry on top.
That was a great individual effort, got underneath, came back to his left hand to increase his angle. And you're right, that is Mondiello with the finish. 10-2, the Long Island Wolfpack leading FCA here. And again, short time, see if they're able to get this face-off in.
Expect Mondiello to see a little bit of a bigger role next year for the newly minted Class C state champs of New York. You know, he does a great job between the lines. You see a little bit of his offensive prowess there. You gotta love those Manhasset helmets too. Speaking of which, Rowan Collins with the ground ball. He's gonna go for. Oh, I thought he was gonna go for it for sure.
Oh, nice save.
Like I said, they're programmed. I think they might have a shot collar. They're not allowed to go too far if they're a pole.
That's a new goalie for FCA. Joel Tyler Castro with the save, ate that one up. As time continues to trickle away. Pass in the midfield, and that'll do it.
Thoroughly dominant performance by the Team 91 Long Island Wolfpack. You know, from start to finish, really. Michael Moon was winning face-offs, and Ben Morris popped the hat trick in. I guess that stood up as the winner, right? And I thought they were just terrific kind of all around. You saw some of their midfield scores. You saw, you know, we talked about their short stick D-middies. It was tough sledding for FCA, but doesn't take away from the fact that FCA played an awesome tournament. And to get to, you know, to get to the finals of Crab Feast, you're playing in the 6th game of the weekend. It's tough, and sometimes you run out of gas, but great performance by FCA, but 91 just you know, was hitting on all cylinders.
So once again, our final from here, the 2024 graduating class championship game, Crab Feast, the 2022 edition. Long Island Wolfpack 10, Team 91 Long Island Wolfpack 10, FCA Maryland 2. Stick around, we've got the 2023 graduating class championship game coming up next. It is Crabs against Thunder.